What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and here we are again with a brand new tier list. As you can see, we're going to be doing movies of the DCEU. Not just movies actually, because Peacemaker's there too. This is one I've been sort of putting off because you might not find a more negative person towards the DCEU than me. I've seen all these movies. I know which ones I like and which ones I definitely don't. There's going to be a lot less in the good pile and the bad pile. I've made my peace with that before I went on here. There's movies here. I've also done a Batman tier list, which includes some DC movies, and obviously they have been put into certain categories already on that. We're just going to get on into it. I will try to do it in timeline order if it's physically possible. I also see Aquaman 2 isn't here. I'll just do that. I'll just say what I think of that at the end. So we began with Superman Man of Steel. I've actually got a bit of a soft spot for Man of Steel because me and my brother went to see this one. I actually enjoyed it for what it was. I did think, obviously, Superman versus General Zod at the end, like, it had to take ages. It was a massive fight between two gods essentially, but it just went on too long. I did like how footage from it was used later on in Batman vs Superman and sort of told from a different perspective of Bruce Wayne, but I'm going to give it an A. It's one of the, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good Superman movies. Like, all of the Christopher Reeve films I think are fantastic, every single one. I know some people say they sort of went off the reels a little bit by the time they got to number 3. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed them all. I'm going to put this one at A. I think if maybe one or two of the Christopher Reeve ones would be S if they were here, but this one's an A. Decent start for the DCEU, isn't it? If only it had stayed that way. The second movie, that's the funny thing here. The second movie is Batman vs Superman. So we know we're building the Justice League movie. You'd think all the heroes on the posters for the Justice League would get their own movie and then would do a team up. Nope. So sequel to Superman, Batman vs Superman. I put it in F in my other tier list video. It's in an F here. The whole, like, I love the part that Batman definitely could beat Superman with enough prep. 100% agree. Yes, he could. Even George Clooney's Batman could beat Superman if he was given enough prep. And that's saying something. Bat nipples himself. But the whole them stopping fighting because both their mothers are called Martha. Batman has, like, anxiety. He said my mum's name. It's like, you're literally trying to kill a god here, buddy. This isn't the stuff to be getting distracted about. I didn't have a problem with this version of Batman killing bad guys. I didn't have a problem with that at all. Obviously, he's an older Batman. He's made his way through his catalogue of villains. He's beat everybody. We obviously get hints in this movie about, like, that Joker probably killed Jason Todd, that universe's Robin. But, like, he's done it all. Like, he's seen everything. He's got no more bad guys left. This wasn't the place to introduce him. It just wasn't. Like, yeah, introducing this DCEU universe's Batman as a guy who can kill Superman, like, it sounds good on paper, but this is also Superman's second film and you're about to do a Justice League movie. So I do also think it left him looking incredibly weak. Like, he had no plan B. A Doomsday was just wasted. Showed up at the end, got his ass kicked. Like, the fake out death of Superman, we all knew he was coming back. The cameo from Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, look, at least she got introduced before Justice League. I will say that. At least she was physically on a screen before that. The whole movie's garbage. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, no. Just no. I like Jesse Eisenberg, and he's great in films like Zombieland, Now You See Me, Social Network. I like him in all them things. No. Lex Luthor, no. And then the post-credit scene with Deathstroke, or Deathshot, I think it's Deathstroke. Wasted. We didn't see him. Joe Mongoli as Deathstroke, perfect. But no, it's got wasted. So they can suck on it. Next up was the original, what do you call it? Original Justice League. What do you call it? the Justice League, that's what they call it. Josh Whedon's Justice League, after Zack Snyder had the audacity to not being able to film due to personal circumstances for a couple of months. So they brought in Josh Whedon to basically redo everything. The Avengers of MCU it up essentially. People say that DC weren't paying attention to what the MCU was doing, but they hired the Avengers director to change their whole film to like a different style. Okay, that's also F. It is literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I don't agree with any team-up movie where only one out of the 5 or 6 main heroes has had a solo movie. Batman hadn't even had one. Still hasn't in the DCEU. Like, he was just part of Superman's sequel. Only one of them had a solo movie and a sequel, and they thought, we'll do a team-up movie. The Avengers aren't all of their team-up movies. They weaved stories in between all their movies that came together for Avengers movies. Warner Brothers literally just said, we want money, we like money, we're going to do this. And I think they took a bath financially on this. I think they didn't make any money on this. I think they made a loss. That tells you everything. If you can throw Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg all into one movie as a team up, usually I would just be guaranteed money. Nope. Warner Bros. Didn't do enough. I'm telling you now, cinema goers in this generation will not spend their hard-earned money to go to the cinema unless a movie is basically guaranteed to be top-notch. And that's fair enough. If people are spending their hard-earned money and trying to give you back the money you spent on it, then you have to repay that. You have to make it worth their while. So fair enough. It was garbage and I never want to see it again. Now we get into where they actually started doing other movies. I don't know which order these next ones came out in, but I know like sort of what phases they came in. So Wonder Woman I think was next. Wonder Woman was a brilliant film. Like the original Wonder Woman, obviously shit set in the World War. Chris Pine was in it as well, forget his name. But it was a very good story and a very different story as well. Obviously it draws comparisons to Captain America the First Avenger. But like, okay, it draws a lot of comparisons actually, because eventually Wonder Woman is just like, yeah, these guns and all aren't really going to affect me. I'm just going to go out and just wreck shop. Fair enough. If you're a superhero in a world war, why not? But it had good backstory and all with the Amazonians and all. It was a good film. It's probably an A now because of how bad Wonder Woman 84 was, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and I thought Chris Pine was very good. And didn't like how they brought him back in the next film, but as I said, we'll get to it. I think this must be the original Aquaman, Amber Heard in tow on the poster. I'm actually tempted to lower it just because she's on the poster, but it's a B. It was the first DC movie to make over $1 billion. I could be wrong on that, but it definitely did make over $1 billion. It was a fun movie. James Wan did his thing. He was on a hot streak there. He had made loads of very good films and very financially successful films. So this one did well. Jason Momoa just cemented his place as Aquaman, because see in the comic books and even the animated series, Aquaman, let's be honest, is a joke. He just is, and Jason Momoa just owns this. Patrick Wilson was fantastic in it as well. The whole family of Atlantis was brilliant, and it ended off on a nice note. And from a film point of view, I don't think it's as good as Superman or Wonder Woman, but it's still a good movie. And those who haven't had any S-tier films yet, shocker. We'll go the original Shazam next. I'm gonna put Shazam A as well. I love the original Shazam movie. The whole family dynamic is perfect. The comedy is perfect. Is it Martin Strong plays the bad guy? I love him in everything he does. I love him in Kingsman. I love him in everything. He was perfect for the villain of playing basically the 7 deadly sins. Zachary Levi was brilliant. Like, if you had told me the nerdy uncle from Alvin and the Chipmunks, I know he's known for other stuff, was going to be like big muscly Shazam, it's like, I wouldn't have believed you, but he plays it perfectly. Looking back on it, you probably couldn't have got anybody else to do that. So it's an A for sure. What else we got? in that current generation, the original Suicide Squad, oh, it's a D. The only reason it's not F is because number one, obviously introduced us to Margaret Robbie's Harley Quinn. Absolutely brilliant. And there's a reason why she was one of only three actors to make it out of that movie into the next one, and obviously one of only two that didn't get killed right away in the next one, but we'll get into that. The whole movie from start to finish, I know there was a movement after the Snyder Cut of Justice League came out to see the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, because he got replaced as well, and the studio just buried his original vision. Look, and to be fair, like, I'm sure his original vision would have been a better film, but I will not, under any circumstances, be risking seeing another version of Suicide Squad that could be equally as bad. That is for sure. Jared Leto's Joker was introduced in this. You're lucky it's not an F. The worst Joker easily in the history of Jokers. Like, he's below everybody. He's below, like, Gotham's Joker. He's below Mark Hamill's voice Jokers. He is bottom of the list, bottom of the barrel. He's literally what the Joker would look like if he just got as a kid, if he got hold of his mother's makeup kit and just went wild. He's terrible, and I'll never watch this movie again. That is absolute for sure. What we got next? It would have been I think it would have been the Justice League again. Right, so we're on to the Zack Snyder Justice League. He obviously got to come in, redo whatever he wanted to do. He literally filmed brand new scenes on a green screen in his driveway. The likes of the Martian the Manhunter scene was filmed in Zack Snyder's driveway. And it still looks better than most big budget movies do now, who are spending 200 to 300 million on CGI. It's still only a B. There's no way, like, just Zack Snyder taking control, there's no way this garbage here in F was jumping to an S just because of a creator. That was not happening. It is still a very flawed movie. The sequences are 10 times better, the acting, the writing is 10 times better, but that does not make it a top movie. It's also far too long. I think, 3.5 hours? Like, most of the biggest YouTube reactors that reacted to had to do it in 4 parts. Like, it's unheard of. It's still, and people seem to forget, like, Zack Snyder was, like, he started the Justice League anyway, and then he got replaced, so he was on board for a Justice League movie. He still needs held accountable to them, because they hadn't done enough in a universe to do a Justice League movie. They just hadn't. That's literally the reason why now James Gunn is saying he doesn't think there'll be Justice League movies in his universe, at least not for 5 to 10 years. Good. That's what has to be done. But in saying that, I do think James Gunn's universe will fail as well. I think DC has lost too much faith. Too much respect has been lost, and that is it. So we're sitting at B, which is still a good rating for DC, trust me on that. Wonder Woman 84, it's an F. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. They wasted Kirsten Wiig as Cheetah. Completely wasted her. Pedro Pascal was completely wasted. Like, his character was just ridiculously stupid. The whole thing about Chris Pine's character being in the body of someone else that only Diana can see. So when they're basically getting together, if you know what I mean, it's not actually him, it's somebody else's body who I think it's hinted at has a wife and kids. So yeah, that's just weird. It's like it's just wrong on so many levels. Say if it was a man and a woman in reversed roles doing that, wonder how that would play out narratively. Okay, whatever. The whole story's garbage. This killed a surefire trilogy. Wonder Woman, the original, was perfect. Wonder Woman in the Justice League versions, both of them, was actually decent. And then Wonder Woman 84 came along, and it's like, you're not getting a third film. Not a chance. It wasn't helped by the fact it came to streaming on the same day as the cinema, but that doesn't matter. It was a garbage film and wouldn't have done well anyway. Who have we got? I know these 4 came out very recently. Birds of Prey would be next. Obviously, the studio were able to see Margaret Robbie's actually pretty famous and pretty good as Harley Quinn, so we'll give her her own movie. So I would say it's better than Suicide Squad. It's average. It could have been better. I know my very young daughter who loves Harley Quinn, but she obviously hasn't seen any of these films. She really wanted to watch this movie, and like I just, like the second I watched it myself, I was like, she cannot watch this movie. Guys getting their legs and all snapped in half and all baseball bats. Like, yep, she's not watching that, that's for sure. It's funny, Margaret Robbie's obviously completely badass. Whether you love or hate the film, you have to admit Margaret Robbie plays the role to an absolute T. She is Harley Quinn. Like, even for this new Joker film coming out, obviously it's a different universe apparently. We've got Lady Gaga taking on Harley Quinn. I can sort of see how she could play it differently as well. But for the DC Harley Quinn, well, there's DCEU or James Gunn's new DC universe, Margaret Robbie has to be Harley Quinn. I'm sorry, she does. Like, there's no one else. Like, if DC brings in their own Harley Quinn, a new actress, they're just going to get compared to Margaret Robbie, and that's not going to end well for anybody, because like, they're just not going to be able to compete. So it's an average movie. I also like Ewan McGregor in this movie as well. I think he plays a very good, down-to-earth, grounded villain. But I don't like how quickly they introduce like all the other new heroines. What we got? It would have been probably the James Gunn Justice League. James Gunn Justice League is an A film. I was actually close to putting it in S. I had to basically be talked into going to the cinema by my cousin to see this. Plus, it was obviously going to stream in the same day, so I could have just streamed it. But he talked me into going to the cinema. At this point, DC had lost so much good stock in me. Like, I was just like, I'm not wasting my money to watch a DC project of any kind. But obviously, I've said before, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. My favourite trilogy of all time. I'd probably maybe join with Captain America. And it's like James Gunn, I'll give it a shot. Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. Well, not perfect, it's not an S. Very, very, very good. The whole bait and switch at the start with the first team getting killed off. Obviously, the only returning cast members was obviously Tom Hardy, is it, as Boomerang? Or no, Jai Courtney as Boomerang, sorry. Margaret Robbie as Harley Quinn, and Flack, Jurgen Klinsmann, I think he's called, or something like that. He came back as Flack. Obviously, we had quite a lot of death of big characters as well. Flack didn't make it out, spoiler alert. A bit late on that. Obviously, we assumed Peacemaker was dead at the end. Obviously, Polka Dot Man got killed at the end. But the whole point of Suicide Squad is that people gotta die, like whether people like it or not. And they left enough of the very famous heroes like Idris Elba and Margot Robbie around so they can maybe do a future Suicide Squad movie. And I'm sure down the line James Gunn will want another crack at Suicide Squad. Like, if they've confirmed that Peacemaker Season 2 takes place in the DC universe but not the DCEU, and some things in the first season did happen and some things didn't, and obviously that's connected to the original Suicide Squad, that'll mean some things there happened and some things didn't. There's still space to bring in Margot Robbie back and bring Idris Elba back as their characters. So I think you'll see another Suicide Squad movie. I'd like to see a Suicide Squad movie where the team back up Peacemaker and Bloodshot or Bloodsport, whatever he's called, after obviously they tried to kill each other. I think that'd be great, but obviously Peacemaker is a changed man. He's a good guy now, sorta, kinda. He'll kill anybody for the good of America. But yeah, it's a great film, great comedy, great cast, and King Shark, he's the GOAT. These all came out around the same time, but I know Peacemaker came out before Black Adam, so Peacemaker A. Honestly, John Cena over the years has shown he's so much more than just another wrestler turned actor. Peacemaker really shone a light on how good this guy is. His improv, his comedy, his even the weight of the emotional scenes, he's got it all. Peacemaker's the perfect character for him as well because he's a bit socially inept. Like, he doesn't know what to say in certain situations, but when he does come off with stuff, it's the craziest shit you've ever heard. He is born to play Peacemaker, and I'm so glad he's getting a season 2. Have to say as well, about Peacemaker, obviously you had what do you call, like, the guy who was just like following him around. He was absolutely fantastic. It's gone out of my head completely, obviously, but like the other hero obviously loses his toe and all. He's absolutely hilarious. the finale of Peacemaker as well. Like, it has probably is the best like bait and switch cameos you've ever seen. Obviously the silhouette of the Justice League. You think, oh, it's just stand-ins, and then all of a sudden you've got Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller there just like taking shots at each other. Momoa's saying the F word and all. You know, it's pretty awesome. And also that finale, it looked like everybody was going to die at one point, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like this, but they survived. Right, now we get into some of the real shit. Black Adam is definitely first. Black Adam's an F. Now, I've had opinions about The Rock on a few of these tier lists. The Rock just plays the same role over and over and over and over and over again. He just does. Whether people like it or not, he just does. This is the first time he tried to play a bit of an asshole. Black Adam's a bad guy. Whether people like it or not, Black Adam's meant to be a bad guy. He's meant to be brutal. He's meant to destroy things. He's meant to be like sick, sadistic. The Rock tried to play him as a tweener. I know he did some terrible things in this film. I knew he was getting on like an asshole. But there was always a sense of like, oh, but like what he went through, you understand. You do get it. You understand why he's doing what he's doing. You're just like, no, just let... Look, it's almost as if The Rock couldn't let himself play a full-on bad guy. Like, in my opinion, he should have been the villain for the whole movie. He should have been something that the Justice Society were trying to take down. In my opinion. Like, it's just my opinion now. But it just turned out like, oh, he's going to help out in the end and all. Then obviously, the only thing that sold tickets for Black Adam was I didn't sell many tickets, but the only thing that sold tickets for Black Adam was the literally ruined post-credit scene of Superman returning, and that slither of hope of Henry Cavill being Superman again in a movie against The Rock's Black Adam, that was enough to get people to go to the cinema to see one post-credit scene. And I don't even think that DC waited until it was out of cinemas to announce, actually no, he's not coming back, after they told Henry Cavill to announce he was back. And then James Gunn's like, no, we're not doing Superman that way. It's like they don't like money. It generally is. The last 3 movies here, these are ones that all came out after James Gunn announced that the DC Universe is dead, by the way. So these movies do not matter at all. They have no implication on the future of the universe. The universe is dying anyway. So why would people waste their money going to see movies that have no implications? See, for films that are based in a shared universe, whether it be MCU or DC, like, no matter what movie you're watching, I could be watching Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I'll be looking out for things like, oh, that could show up in that movie, like Captain America 4, that could show up like in Loki, like that could be followed on with. Whereas DC are just like, none of it matters anyway, so if you don't want to see it, you don't want to see it. Blue Beetle was a good film. It was actually a very fun film, very family orientated. I actually laughed quite a lot at the family scenes, just when they start, like when they're trying to do the whole thing of like, oh, like we shouldn't hurt anybody, that's not the point, and then later on they're gunning down just all these bad guys. Like, cool. So I'm gonna put that at B. I definitely do think, I think he's confirmed Blue Beetle himself is going to be played by the same actor in the future DC universe. Good decision. You're not going to find anyone that's going to play it better than he did. That is for sure. Obviously, he showed what he could do at Cobra Kai. He's already a superhero film. He's a very bright future, and he should be part of the DC universe because he didn't do anything wrong. He was just in a film that was doomed from the start. Like, see, nowadays, like, you can tell, you can't really guess how much money exactly a movie's going to make, like a superhero movie, but you can definitely say that is not making money. That is not breaking even. That is not it's not making more than a couple $100 million. And it was doomed. Like, James Gunn doomed it just by announcing what he announced, but it was doomed from the start. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Obviously, I've got the first Shazam up in A. It's one of the better DC movies in my opinion. This was a C. It was just average. Like, I know Zachary Levi was like, oh, before the film even came out, he was like trying to just basically beg James Gunn over like live chats and all, just to keep me around in the DC universe. I think it's all tainted now. And see, unless you're like a Margot Robbie, who just I think should be untouchable, or a John Cena who's made Peacemaker his own, I think everyone else should just be gone. Like, personally, I think they should just restart. the same argument for people saying that about the X-Men that are coming to the MCU, but should they just bring back the Fox X-Men, the younger ones, or should they start new? I think you should start new, because I think X-Men's tainted. I think the last 3 Fox movies were trash, and I just think that they shouldn't bring them back, because people are going to remember that. So Shazam, Fury of the Gods, obviously you bring in Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, like, it should be great, and they were good, but like, there'd also been far too much time in between Shazam films. Like the kid that plays like Kid Shazam, who turns into Shazam, like, he's literally nearly taller than Zachary Levi now in real life. So you're just turning into someone a little bit taller. Like, what if that kid, see if there had been a Shazam 3, like in another 5 years time, what if that kid had started hitting the gym and got all muscly? He would have been changed Shazam and turning from muscly to muscly. Makes no sense. So this movie was ruined. Like, yes, it had some very cool set pieces. It's still better than all this garbage. Like, the films down here are just complete garbage. I don't see how anybody would enjoy them. The Flash. It's officially the last. I won't rank this one yet. I'll say because Aquaman 2's not here. Aquaman 2 would have been in C as well. Though not as good as the first one. A lot less. I even forgot her name as well. A lot less Mira in it. You know who I'm talking about as the actress. The trash. A lot less of her. Good. That's what was needed. But there shouldn't have been any of her. It had enough time. They delayed it so much. They should have just found a way to remove her from the film. It would be in C. Just bang average film. I did like the aspect of Patrick Wilson being back and him actually working with his brother this time. The whole story about the Lost Kingdom and all that, blah blah blah. Don't care. It's like, it's not interesting anymore. Move on. And then we've got The Flash. The fact the Flash, like, with so many reshoots, the Flash's budget was close to 300 million. Like, people crap on the likes of the Marvels and all that, and I understand that. People didn't go flock to see the Marvels, but personally I enjoyed the Marvels as a movie. It was never going to make its budget. That should have been obvious from the start. But the Flash, like, there was, who was it? Tom Cruise and all was called, before the Flash came out, they were saying they had seen an advanced screening of it, and it was one of the best movies they'd ever seen. And then you watch the movie yourself, and you're just like, are all these people on the same drugs, or are they all getting from a bad batch from different suppliers? Because The Flash is garbage. A movie that can spend close to 300 million, bring back the best Batman and Michael Keaton, have like a Supergirl in it, basically. Have 2 Flashes, which ended up being a detriment to the film, because so someone didn't realise Barry Allen as a character is in the DCEU is annoying as hell. And then what did they do? They bring in a younger Barry Allen who's even more annoying and immature. So you have to listen to double the Ezra Miller not long after he's had all these legal issues, we'll just say, aka he's a horrible human being. So you brought back General Zod, you brought back everybody, like, all the ingredients were there, just Warner Brothers don't know how to make a good movie anymore. You might notice to see a lot of the stuff up here outside of Suicide Squad, which was helmed by James Gunn, James Gunn just does good movies. That is the way it is. That's like one of the unwritten rules. But everything else is a TV show as well, done by James Gunn. There's a shocker. But all this is early DCEU. Everything under here is like newer to mid DCEU. So it's like they're getting worse and worse at making films. It's a bit like the Sony issue. Sony made good Spider-Man films at the start, apart from 3. Won't get into that. The Andrew ones were like underrated, but like people didn't enjoy them. And since then, between the Venoms, the Morbiuses, like Madam Web, it gets worse and worse and worse. Because they think they know what fans want, and they don't. They don't understand. So when they just started making The Flash cameos galore, they just sacrificed actual story, actual scripts, actual good acting. The only good part in it is Michael Keaton, and even he dies stupidly hundreds of times over. trying to reverse time. He just keeps dying and dying and dying. You're just like, this is my childhood. You're just killing him over and over again. Even if like they made it out like it's a big emotional sacrifice, he didn't need to die. He just didn't. Simple as that. And then that universe like basically got destroyed anyway. So the Tim Burton Michael Keaton's Batman universe was just gone. It's destroyed. Whatever. You're F. You're the worst of the worst. Actually, no. You're the second worst of the worst. And as you can see, this is all DCEU properties. Not a single one in S tier. When I did an MCU tier list, there was I think 10 films in S tier. I know the MCU's got a lot more projects, but like we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about half the movies of the MCU. So you would think by law of averages there would be like maybe 5 in this S tier for being half. Nope, none of it is top rated content. DCEU had to die. It should not be reborn. James Gunn starting another universe with a new Superman, new Batman, whatever. So soon is, in my opinion, stupid. Superman will make money. Superman is Superman. Batman, a different Batman, not even Pattinson's Batman, but a different Batman, the bolder Batman, the dad Batman. I don't think it makes money personally. I think like Supergirl won't make money. All the shows are doing Creature Commandos and all, they're going to streaming anyway. Like our TV, it's just not going to be good. I'm just sorry, it's not. And anyway, and the Green Lantern Corps show, it sounds like a great idea, but it's not going to make money. So what's the point? Warner Brothers are all about making money. I'm actually surprised they haven't just scrapped all the ideas, because like only half the projects for movies that'll make money and like actually on like in the box office. The rest of the TV shows are going straight to Paramount Plus. It's not Paramount, is it Paramount? Paramount or Warner Brothers, one of the two. All the money's just going straight to streaming, and it's not the type of projects that are going to drive subscriptions, so they're not going to make money. DC is dead for a while. You can maybe come back in 10 years time and try to start fresh, and that was it. See when Henry Cavill announced at the end of after Black Album, and I'm back. That was the first time in I think maybe 10 years that people like DC has a chance to go back to the morning. Henry Cavill is again a DC stand. That's it. Love the film. Don't go watch it. Don't give us money. New cards. So that's my DC tier list. I actually got a bit triggered there at the end, just thinking about how many real opportunity there is here. And it did trigger me quite a lot. But I'm glad it's dead. Personally, I'm glad I don't have to listen to anyone trying to compare the DC universe to the MCU anymore. People might say, as they go, the MCU going through a tough time, Thor Love and Thunder wasn't good and all, and My Fucking Meal wasn't good. And yeah, they weren't. But they weren't this. Like honestly, when I put Quantumania and Thor Love and Thunder like lower ranks like C and D on my MCU list, like an MCU C or D is still better than a DCU A, in my opinion. I would watch any length over any of this crap all day long. But that's my list, guys. I don't care what you say about it, because I'm always going to be triggered by DC. There is no talking me anyway. Thanks for watching anyway. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff you guys like to do. See you all.